Hello friends, I hope you are always healthy, and thank you for clicking on this video. On this occasion, let's discuss a murder case that has recently gone viral because it happened to a talented young activist who many people hope will become a role model and can be relied upon in the political world of the United States. The perpetrator himself turned out to be very young and came from ordinary people. This murder was strongly condemned by all parties, highlighted by the world, and condemned by national and even international leaders as a tragedy due to the increasing cases of political. Then I hope this incident can be a lesson for us all so that it will not happen again in the future. Now, prepare the most comfortable position for you. Prepare some snacks. Let's discuss the case. The young activist in question is named Charles James Kirk. He was born on October 14, 1993, in the Chicago suburb of Arlington Heights, Illinois, and raised near Prospect Heights. His father, Robert W. Kirk, is an architect involved in the construction of Trump Tower. His mother, Catherine (née Smith), is a former trader at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, who later worked as a mental health counselor. He also had a sibling, a younger sister, Mary, who later became an art curator in Chicago. Kirk describes his family as moderate Republicans. His parents were active in conservative circles, and his father was a major donor to Mitt Romney's 2012 presidential campaign. Raised in the Presbyterian Church, Kirk was a member of the Boy Scouts of Amerika and earned the rank of Eagle Scout. During his high school years, he became interested in politics by reading books by economist Milton Friedman, whom he attributes to his political awakening. In 2010, during his sophomore year at Wheeling High School, Kirk volunteered for Illinois Republican Mark Kirk's successful U.S. Senate campaign. Kirk led numerous school movements, demanding various things, including a boycott of cafeteria cookies to reverse a price increase. Kirk rose to prominence, particularly in the political world, when he wrote an essay for Breitbart News alleging liberal bias in high school textbooks, leading to his first media appearance on Fox Business at the age of 17. Kirk subsequently applied to the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York, but was rejected in 2012. He then attended Harper College near Chicago, but dropped out after one semester. In May 2012, Kirk, then 18, gave a speech at Youth Empowerment Day at Benedictine University, where he met Bill Montgomery, a 72-year-old retiree who was then a Tea Party-backed legislative candidate. Montgomery encouraged Kirk to engage in full-time political activism. A month after they first met, Montgomery and Kirk founded Turning Point USA as a grassroots organization to rival liberal groups like MoveOn.org. At the 2012 Republican National Convention, Kirk met Foster Friess, a former investment manager and prominent Republican donor, whom he persuaded to fund the organization. From its founding until his death in 2025, Kirk was the executive director, chief fundraiser, and public face of Turning Point USA, which he described as a student organization advocating for free markets and limited government. Kirk has succeeded in attracting thousands of students to join his organization, Turning Point, not only students from small campuses, but also students from universities such as Utah and Columbia University. Turning Point, which was initially only intended for young people in the United States to be more politically active, able to compete with liberal groups, and later they will also have a place to convey their political aspirations. TPUSA has now reformed into the largest political organization in the United States, operating like a corporation and having over 2,000 branches in various universities and several schools. From this, Kirk's organization was able to earn $39.2 million in revenue in 2020, and he himself received a salary of $325,000. In an interview with Wired magazine during the 2016 Republican National Convention, he said that while he was not the biggest Donald Trump fan in the world, he would vote for him, and that Trump's candidacy made Turning Point's mission more difficult. Kirk switched to supporting Trump at the convention and then spent the rest of the campaign helping with travel and media arrangements for Donald Trump Jr. In October 2016, Kirk participated in a Fox News show with Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Lara Trump that had a pro-Donald Trump tone. In May 2021, Kirk married Erica Kirk, née Francevey, an entrepreneur and podcaster who won the Miss Arizona USA beauty pageant in 2012. The couple's first child, a daughter, was born in 2022. Their second child, a son, was born in May 2024. Charlie Kirk's net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $12 million. He increased his salary at his nonprofit company, Turning Point USA, from $27,000 per year to over $400,000 per year in 2023. His wealth was amassed through public speaking engagements, media contributions, book sales, and real estate. Kirk reportedly charged between $50,000 and $100,000 for in-person speaking engagements, and between $10,000 and $20,000 for virtual events. Kirk is an evangelical Christian who belongs to the Calvary Chapel Association. Before the early 2020s, Kirk was described as secular and a critic of religion's influence on politics and the state. He later became a Christian nationalist. In 2021, Kirk partnered with California pastor Rob McCoy to launch TPUSA Faith to mobilize conservative Christians to vote Republican. Kirk is known to be very conservative, thorough, and firm. When there is a party or group that threatens the national stability of the country, he does not hesitate, is not afraid at all of the parties concerned. This can be traced where Kirk vocally rejects the continued arrival of immigrants to the United States, especially those coming from India, South American countries, and Black Africans, claiming that these immigrants have come to their country too much and caused Native Americans themselves to have difficulty finding work. Very vocal in voicing his opinions of what will happen, Kirk also does not hesitate to correct the past to find data about how an event actually happened. In the 2020 coronavirus case, Kirk stated that the WHO covered up the true facts of the emergence of the coronavirus, saying there was a big conspiracy behind it all. He also claimed that the data on human trafficking by the Justice Institution in the United States from 2015 to 2020 was incorrect. Furthermore, Kirk also often criticized various policies implemented by government officials, such as those implemented by several mayors. On social media, Kirk was said to be too bold with some of his opinions, such as about the war between Ukraine and Russia, which resulted in his own account being blocked, as happened on Twitter. A February 2023 Brookings Institution study found that many of Kirk's podcasts contained a high proportion of false, misleading, and unsubstantiated statements. His own podcast was very popular and ranked second among the 36,603 episodes produced by 79 leading political podcasters. From there, many believe, especially supporters of Donald Trump and right-wing political parties, that what Kirk has done over the past 10 years has caused several parties great difficulties, and ultimately resulted in Charles James Kirk having to be killed. Turning Point USA announced on August 27th that Kirk would visit several college campuses during September-October 2025 as part of a speaking and debate series called the American Comeback Tour. Wednesday, September 10th, it was the turn of the University of Utah in Orem Valley, Utah. Crowds awaited Kirk at UVU, the first stop on Turning Point USA's The American Comeback Tour, and Kirk appeared before a crowd of about 3,000 people. Then, he threw his hat to the audience before speaking. At 12 noon local time, Kirk then headed to a tent where he would give a speech. Earlier at about 8:30 a.m., surveillance video showed that nearly 4 hours before the shooting suspect arrived near the university campus in a Dodge Challenger, according to the Utah governor. At 11:52 a.m., he was seen arriving near the university campus about half an hour before the shooting, authorities said at a press conference Thursday morning. Authorities said they were later able to use surveillance footage to track the shooter's movements onto the campus and then via a stairwell to the roof of the building where the shooting occurred. As the event began, Mr. Kirk spoke to the crowd and answered questions while sitting under a tent, decorated with the tour's name, on the lawn outside the school's main campus. Before being shot, Kirk was asked about the mass shootings that have occurred in the United States.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what. We're going to be here for a couple hours. Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
Less than 20 minutes after Kirk spoke, at around 12:20 local time, a gunshot was heard, causing Kirk to immediately fall to the ground. The shooting suspect carried out his actions from a Losi Center roof, 120 meters away from the location where Kirk was speaking. A video released by the FBI shows the gunman running across the roof of the building where Mr. Kirk was shot. He then hangs from the side of the building before falling to the grass and fleeing into a nearby wooded area. People who attended the Kirk event immediately panicked and fled in all directions to save themselves. The university immediately announced that the campus was closed and classes were cancelled. The university also stated that police were deployed from building to building to escort people off campus, and roads were closed. Not long after, at 1 p.m., the campus immediately sent out a warning that the police were investigating and a suspect had been detained, but he was released because he was not a suspect. 2 hours after Kirk was shot, his spokesman announced that he had died. Kirk was taken by private vehicle to a hospital where he was pronounced dead from blood loss and multiple nerve damage, said Bo Mason, commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety. At 4 p.m., Utah Governor Spencer Cox said in a press conference that a second suspect was in custody and being questioned, a statement echoed by FBI Director Kash Patel, who wrote in a post on X that the subject in today's horrific shooting that took the life of Charlie Kirk had been taken into custody. But just like before, around 5 in the afternoon, the second suspect was also released because he was not the perpetrator of the shooting of Charles James Kirk. The next day, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles announced during a press conference that authorities had recovered what is believed to be the weapon used in the shooting, a high-powered bolt-action rifle. The weapon was found in the wooded area where the shooter fled, and the FBI will analyze the weapon, Bowles said. At 10 a.m., authorities released images of the shooting suspects and asked for the public's help in identifying them. The FBI later wrote in a post on X that they were offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the individual responsible for Charlie Kirk's murder. Finally, on Friday, September 12th, Utah Governor Spencer Cox announced the identity of the man who carried out the shooting, named Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old man who had been arrested and named as a suspect in the Kirk shooting. Tyler was a fugitive for 33 hours. He hid in his house, and when the photo of the suspect who shot Kirk was released, Tyler's parents realized that the person was their son. Tyler admitted that he did it, but he refused to turn himself in on his parents' advice. At that time, Tyler even thought about ending his own life. Then a family member of Tyler Robinson contacted a family friend, who then contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. For the trial, it turned out that Tyler was not a criminal. He had no criminal record at the police station. In fact, he himself was an outstanding student, where in 2021, he won a residential scholarship to study engineering at Utah State University near Salt Lake City. However, he dropped out after one semester and is now an intern at Dixie Technical College in Washington, where he lives with his family. At the time of the shooting, Tyler was in his third year at the internship. Tyler Robinson had his initial court appearance on Tuesday afternoon via a virtual connection from his Utah County jail cell. He was seen simply stating his name and sitting with a straight face. 4th District Judge Tony Graff read the full indictment, stating that Tyler faces the death penalty if all evidence points to a strong premeditated motive. The reason Tyler killed Kirk was because of different ideological views, where Tyler strongly supported LGBT rights, plus Tyler could no longer stand all the speeches from Charles James Kirk, because according to him, Kirk only spread hatred.